Welcome back to The Red Ones Go Faster. Today's episode we're talking about the new Ork Battleforce, the Killdakka Warband, and whether or not you should buy that. Or this, the Combat Patrol for your Ork force. We're also going to throw in a little bit of Start Collecting. So yesterday Games Workshop announced that they are going to have Christmas Battle Forces or Holiday Battle Forces for 2021. And the Orks are going to be included. And this is the Battle Force. It's called the Killdakka Warband. And as you can see, it's a pretty large force, actually. This is quite a nice army. What you're looking at here, though, is 5 knobs, 20 boys, 10 Gretchen with a runt herd, a Def Killer War Trike, big mech with shock attack gun, and a Dakka jet. So you got a little bit of everything from all the forces. So you're looking at 3 troop squads, 1 elite, 2 HQs that you can actually run together, which is nice, and the 1 flyer. The problem with this warband is it doesn't really work well together. Your speed boss here on the Def Killer War Trike, he wants to be in charge of a speed wah. There are no other vehicles here to call the speed wah except for the jet, and I'm not even honestly sure whether or not the Dakka jet can even take that kind of stuff. So he's just out on his own, unsupported. There's no buggies, there's no bikes, there's nothing else in here. You don't even have a truck for the boys. So you don't really have anything that the speed wah would be useful for. And all the regular boys in here, they're going to want a regular wah, but this boss can't call that. He can only call the speed wah. And the big mech can't call it either. So as a standalone force, it just kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The other problem is Monopoles. See, the boys that are included in the Battle Force are the same boys that are here in the Combat Patrol. Now, they're great boys, don't get me wrong. I mean, the sculpts are amazingly beautiful here. The problem is it's a Monopose situation with a mixed force. What I mean by that is the 20 boys, and it's 2 identical sets of 10. Let's not mince any words here. It is 2 identical sets of 10. In that 10, you get a knob, and he is very much a knob. 4 close combat equipped ones, so they got the sluggas and the choppas. 1 that has stick bombs. 3 with shooters, and 1 with a heavy weapon. So you get this kind of Mod Podge, and out of the 20, there's no real easy way to make 2 good squads, because you really don't want to have mixed squads in your actual squads. You either want all sluggas and choppas or all shooters. It just doesn't work out. Now, if the Combat Patrol only had 1 of those sets of 10, and the big box had the 2, you might be able to get away with combining them all and ending up with, you know, 1 10-man squad of shooters and 1 or 2 10-man squads of choppas, but it's not going to work out that way. And again, with the Monopoles, you're going to end up with this guy 4 times if you buy both the Combat Patrol and the box, which is a shame because the Combat Patrol and the box actually work well together if it wasn't for the Monoposeness. Because in this one, you get a regular war boss who can call the regular wah, and you get some the new choppas there that can benefit from the speed wah stuff, and you have a def dread. So this box is a really, really, really good deal. I really like the Combat Patrol box for all Ork players. With the new boys, you know, if you've got a bunch of boys, and this is what I've been doing, you mix them in with your old boys into your squads and just kind of make your squads a little bigger, fill them out, move some of the boys around. You know, you can pick this up and add to your collection. Plus, it's the only way to get the new Coptas, the new Def Coptas, and then the new War Boss and Mega Armor. And again, these are all great units. I would not buy the Combat Patrol and the Battle Force, though. It's one or the other. If you already have a Combat Patrol, skip the Battle Force. If you're getting the Battle Force, do not get a Combat Patrol, because having 40 of these Monopose guys is going to drive you nuts. Now, an option you can do is picking up the old Start Collecting box. Now, this one also comes with boys. However, they are the old boys. And the old boys are not Monopose. You can build them however you want. Sluggas, choppas, shooters, on the whole gang. You can use those bits to convert the boys in the Battle Force. Plus, there's 10 in here. You can end up with 2 nice 10-man close combat squads and 1 10-man shooter squad if you want, out of all the boys. mix things up. You'll have extra parts in order to do some moving around and stuff. You will end up with 10 knobs as opposed to just the 5, because there are 5 more knobs in here. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think 10 knobs you could actually use quite well. Plus you have the Pain Boy and the Def Dread in this one. So if you manage to get your hands on an old Start Collecting box and add this to the Battleforce, I think you'll be doing really nicely. Conversely, I also think you could do a Start Collecting and a Combat Patrol instead of a Battleforce, if you could find both of these. Because again, you've got the 20 new Monopoles boys and 10 of the old school boys that come with all of the weapons, and you can use the parts and pieces to convert and mix the squads together and end up with 2 pure Slugga Choppa squads and 1 pure Shoota squad, and have a really nice base. Plus you would have, again, the War Boss and Mega Armor, you'd have the Pain Boy, and you'd have a Fast Attack Choice and 2 Def Dreads, plus the knobs. I actually think this is a better deal overall than the Battleforce. We don't know what the pricing on the Battleforce is yet, and again, I'm sure it's going to be like a deal for what it is. But if you're looking to start an Ork army, or you're looking to add to an existing Ork force, I think that this combination, the Combat Patrol and the old Start Collecting box, is a better deal at any price, because the units are more useful and you can do more with them than getting just the Battleforce. Finally, though, if you don't have an Ork collection currently and you do want to get started, getting the Killdakka Warband, I mean, it's not a bad deal. It's just, again, you're not going to get a lot of synergy between the units. Now, I will say, if you manage to pick up the old Speed Freak set, you already have that, and maybe that's the only Ork thing you have with the custom Boosta Blasta and the Shock Jump Dragsta and the 6 bikes, that would be an excellent addition to the Warband. So if you have the Speed Freaks box already, or you know where you can get your hands on one, adding that to this would actually make a pretty sweet Ork force. But that's going to be real situational. That box is, what, 3 years old now? Long out of print, really hard to find, usually pretty expensive. And again, you could probably add the old Start Collecting box, which these are still out there. You could find them all over eBay and the internet and stuff. You could probably add that to it, but it's not as good of an add, because, again, you end up with 10 knobs. And again, there's still no buggies to go with that War Trike. And I love the War Trike. I actually have a video here on my channel of my painted War Trike. It's one of my favorite models. It just doesn't synergize with anything else in this box. So again, unless you don't have any of these and you're really looking to add them to your force, or you're starting brand new, still, though, I don't think it's going to be the greatest idea because of the lack of synergy. So yeah, in conclusion, if you're looking to start a new WA here in 2021, I would pick up the Combat Patrol and the old Start Collecting box. Mix these new boys in with the old ones. Get yourselves 3 really good squads. Forget the Gretchen, forget the Def Killa War Trike, and just go smash some heads. Wah!